and I'm here to show what things that I've made that I've done. Where do we start? I have a couple of bags of stuff, but the first one that I want to show, I did finally finish the vests that I was working on. For the summer hop, I showed, hopefully this isn't too crooked because the table is very janky. Anyway, I showed the ones that I made for my nieces, and I was using up, or trying to use up, the rest of the yarn. I still have, I think, 2 cakes left. But all the leftovers from theirs, and I used, I think, another cake to make mine. And I finally finished it. I've worn it already. When I went to drop it off, only one of my nieces was there, and the minute I walked in, I had mine on, and she barely said hi, and she said, "You were supposed to make me one of those." So she did not forget, and she loved hers. And I have pictures, or a couple of pictures I'll be able to show. The other niece was in there, and my sister-in-law ended up sending a picture after the fact, and she was not in a picture taking mode, so hopefully, I think I still have the picture, so hopefully I'll post it somewhere. But I am going to show you mine. I made it bigger because this all started from the vest I made last spring for the hop. And one of the things that I forgot to do with this one, I don't like things on the back of my neck. It bugs me. So the one I made last year, I accounted for that by making the neckline a little shorter than the band here. I forgot to do that for this one, so it's annoying. But the colors are just so bright that I'm living with it. And the other thing I did, I decreased here like I did the other two, but because I made this overall bigger, I should have decreased a little more. Right now it's all the way up to here, and I don't like the look of it, and there's nothing really I can do about it. I could at some point go back and start adding for a sleeve if I want to, but I think I want to keep it as a vest. So let me put it on and step back and try to show you. Don't mind the outfit, I'm in comfortable clothes, so I'll be right back. It's done. It's done. This is what I mean. I should have decreased further here to make it like here. So all of this I'm not thrilled about. It just feels a little clunky. So there's that. I did a little bit of color controlling and tried to keep, you know, the colors as close together as possible on either side. And my niece also mentioned that mine has this darker area and hers doesn't, so I tried to talk her out of it because she could be a little stubborn and, you know, probably refuse hers, but she didn't. But she picked up on the fact that this was here in mine and not in hers. But otherwise, I am quite pleased with it. So that's done. So I will say that the neck line, that's the part that's bothering me. It's pushing up against my neck. Like I said, the other one, I accounted for that and made the neckline a little lower in the back so it wouldn't keep touching me. But other than that, I wore it, I think I dropped it off on last Sunday, I think. But before that, was it last Sunday? No, because I ended up wearing it to my yarn meetup. I don't remember, but I gave it a good use already. I haven't washed it or anything, so I'm hoping once I do wash and dry it, it will relax and flow just a little bit. It's not stiff, but you can just tell it hasn't been washed or blocked yet. But that is that. So I also finished what was supposed to be my summer hop project, which was a remake from, I think 2019 is when I said I made the original. It is the Tulip Cardigan by Coffee and Crocheting. Last time I used the creme cotton from Michaels Loops and Threads. That was a number 4 worsted. This time I used Kobu, and is Kobu DK? It might be worsted, but it feels like DK. It's definitely a lighter yarn. I can't remember if it's DK or not. But because I had stopped to do other things, and I stopped to do my niece's, I didn't get it finished in time for the hop. So let me try that one on, or put that one on, and to show you. So hang on. Okay. It is done. I like it. Actually, I love it. Except I wish I had had all of this colorway to do the whole thing, because I had to add this because I wouldn't have had enough to get through all of this. So I had to use this is the lichen color, and this is olive. I had to use the lichen. I used 1 skein of the lichen and 3 of the skein, the 3 skeins I had of the olive. So I had to use the lichen to do here, and then I brought back the olive just to give it a couple repeats down here for the front, and I edged it in the lichen. Now what I did with the last time I did it, I used the main color to do the first round of the banding. That way I don't like here, like when you do a different color on the edge, because it's not like straight stitches, it's kind of, you know, a little wonky, and I don't like that little jaggedy look to it. So I used the main color to make the first round of the band. That way you don't see that. And then I carried on with the contrast color. But like I said, I didn't have enough of the olive to do that, so I have to live with that. So, and I'm sure it won't be noticeable to anybody except for, you know, us, me. But the last one I made, it came out small, and it came up to here. So I made sure I went up, I think, a size or 2 to do that. And this hasn't been blocked yet, so I also banded it in there as well. But yep. Love it. Look at me doing all kinds of garments. So outside of my wheelhouse as far as a normal type of thing, but yeah. So I'm gonna keep that on for the rest of the time, but I am quite pleased. 2 garments, and I don't think I will take this. Hopefully the video is not too shaky because the table's a little wobbly. It's a little too heavy to take for a summer vacation, but I will definitely be taking that one with me. So yes, quite pleased with that. So I'm still claiming it as my summer hop project, just a little late. So there's that. Because I was trying to use up some of all of the open skeins of the yarn I used to make this. Whatever I had left to finish it off, I think I used about half of one of the neon lights skeins, or neon sign skeins. So I decided I will make another Emineko, use some of it. So I did I color control? I did not color control at all. So one leg is orange, one leg is more pink with a little bit of orange, green, and it went into the orange. So I did not color control, as you can see. So Emineko, I did sell one at my last craft fair. The regular size one, it was a little smaller than that because I used the Red Heart bitty stripes, and it came out a little smaller than this one, so I needed to replace it anyway. So that, and then this is not, ooh, I have a stitch marker again in there. this is my Octo 2 pattern, and I was using up leftover yarns because in this it's the sweet rolls, but for the edgings hopefully I will have cut off most of the motorcycle sounds, but anyway, for the edging I had used some both in mine and for the girls I used some Michael's yarn. That's a little, it's a number 4, but it's a thicker number 4, so I had a little bit of it left over and I wanted to use it up. So the first 3 colors are what was left over of all the Michael's yarns. They look similar, or they look like they could be similar on camera, but they're different colors. Of this and this are 2 different pinks. This is more of a purpley pink, and this is a pink, neon pink. So I just added this band because that's all I had left of this highlighter color, and then the bottom part is the sweet rolls. So I made that, and then I had a little bit left, so I made a little octo into a keychain. So all of the extra scraps of the Michael's yarn is gone, as well as any open skeins of the sweet rolls. So that made me happy. The other things I've been doing, I'm not sure if I don't think I showed these, but I have somebody at work who's ordered from me before, and he likes simple hats, and pretty sure I might have mentioned it before, but he had ordered a couple of months ago, ordered hats for me, and I don't think I showed these. If I did, I'm showing them again. But I made options. He wanted a black, and the one he had before was like a dark teal color. So I made those, and then I just made options for him to choose. So these are just going into my inventory for, like, you know, if any guys come to my booth, which is as far as hats and stuff, they don't tend to buy as much. I have had some on a few occasions, but these are Brava Bulky Knit Picks yarn that I've had for a while, and this is Umber or something like that, and this is Solstice Heather. Umber Heather and Solstice Heather. So I just made just plain half double crochet bin. Are they half? This is a half double crochet, and this is a double crochet and single crochet beanie. So that's that. On the hats, I have been trying to use up a lot of the acrylic yarn that's just sitting there. This one, one of the members of our overall team at work, he is a hunter, and we were just chit-chatting one day, he, myself, and somebody else, and he was talking about when he goes hunting and sitting in the trees and blah blah blah, and for some reason this colorway just popped into my head. So I figured I would, when I got home, I would just do a hat real quick on the circular machine. I haven't used it in a bit. Made it, brought it, and turned out he didn't show up for the next 2 days, and then the next week we weren't in the office, so so I finally gave it to him this past week. But this colorway is oak something, and it was actually gifted to me by, again, the Canadian crochetette, Debbie. And I've had them there. I've used a couple of skeins for something else, and I've had like 5 or 6 of the skeins sitting there, so I decided to keep using the circular machine, and I've just made hats. So see, it's very woodsy, huntery colors. So I have the 40 pin and the 48 pin. So 2 of them I know I made on the 40 pin and 48 pin, or was it just the 40? Anyway, I made at least one on the 40 pin, and maybe the rest on the 48 pin. But that. I still have 2.5 skeins left to use up. So I'm making hats again for if guys come to my booth, because most of the hats I make are just geared towards women. And the other thing I'm making is headbands. So when I make a hat, did I? No, I just used a skein to see how many headbands I can get, and I got a bigger size and a smaller size headband out of one. And then for the hat, I can get almost 2 hats out of a skein, depending on the tension. So 2 headbands and 5 hats. He has 1, so 5 hats so far and 2 headbands. And I kept going on the circular machine, and I bought this yarn a year ago from one of the sites. Hirschner's? It was either Hirschner's or Mary Maxim, and I don't even remember what the yarn name is. If I remember, when I'm editing, I'll put it on the screen. But I think it's one of the cake yarns, and I don't remember. Coffee Shop? No, I'll put it on the screen. But I bought 6 skeins, 3 of this colorway, which is a pinky green color. It goes more into the pink green, and then it also has like a lighter green color, so it's reversible of all days with the motorcycle. Anyway, so this is what I mean with the, you've got the more darker green and pink, and then you've got the lighter yellowy green and pink. So I have, this is 2 skeins, 2 of the cakes, so 3 hats and 1 headband, and I have a little bit left of the second skein that's just waiting, that it won't be enough to make anything complete, so I have to add another skein. For my cinching, for one of them I did the which one was it? It wasn't these. For another headband I did the waste yarn method, and then you know, use the crochet hook to close it, and then do the folding closure. But I just cinch it and then close it that way. I prefer that. Less bulk too. So again, trying to use up. So with this, I bought 3 of this colorway, and then there's also a black and white kind of colorway like this that I haven't used yet, that I need to work on. So I have 3 of the black and whites. These I bought again over a year ago from, pretty sure it was Hirschner's. It was either Hirschner's or Mary Maxim. But I bought this sparkly yarn, and it's just been sitting there. Actually, hold on, I'm using some more of it. It's Mary Maxim Glimmer that I bought, and it's been over a year that I've had it there. So whoops, I decided to use it, and I am all out of these types of headbands. I have the crochet headbands, but I'm all out of these, so I figured I will use up my number 4 acrylics and either do this or do hats to have on hand. So I got 1 big one and a very, this one is way softer, and I think this was a Karen Simply Soft cake, I'm pretty sure, because it's way softer than the Mary Maxim. So yeah, so this was a Karen Simply Soft, and I got a regular size, and this was so small, and I was thinking it's for, you know, a baby, but it's kind of big, like wide. Who knows? We'll see if anyone's interested. So I got that out of it. The red, I got 1 full size out of it, and then this much, which is way too small even for a baby. So I gotta undo this and figure out what to do with it. So that, and then this one I made the year before, and in 2023, and it was way too big, and it was just sitting there, and I actually ended up cutting out the seam like with scissors, and then I picked up the stitches, held it on waste yarn, and redid it into a smaller size. So this yarn was a pain. I don't remember the yarn, but the different colors are like almost thick and thin almost. You know, different colorways. Some of them are thinner, some are thicker. Well, this is definitely the case in this. Like this color, this part here is definitely thin, and you can feel the difference when it's going through the machine. The black section, way thicker, and the brown as well, way thicker. So, but I was able to resize it to get usable, because it was even big. I have a big noggin, and it was even big on my head. So, yay that I figured out how to pick up the stitches and not have everything drop all over on me. All right, almost done. Toy makes. I made another Diddy Dax, and for some reason I love this colorway. This is the tweed Bernat blanket, and it's the, I don't know what it's called. It's gray. It's like a beigey base with like grays in there. So on camera it looks brown almost, but I love it. It's almost like a smoky feel to the whole Diddy Dax. Oh, aren't they just the cutest thing? And I used some Dollar Tree yarn to do the horns, and then I used some of that thick Bernat blanket yarn to do the wings. But it's like a monotone grays on grays, but I love this. I was going to do one in the brown kind of, I'll show you, because I have a chicken in that colorway for this, but I didn't have enough because this one was a brand new skein, but the brown one was already opened, so I didn't have enough to do this and the chickens. But I will show you in a second, because I think I made the chicken first, and then what was left over I made that. What I've been making with scraps is the jumping spider, and I don't remember by who, but link will be down below. I've been using all my balls of blanket yarn scraps to make the jumping spider. So, and this one, you can't really tell unless somebody really pays attention, but can you tell? I'll give you a second. Can you tell what's off? I added an extra leg. I don't know how I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's 4 here. It's supposed to be 4 and 4. Of course, it cut off on me as usual. I wasn't paying attention this time. Another motorcycle. Ah, maybe I just never noticed before that they're around, but because I'm outside today. Anyway, as I was saying, I made a scrap snake, and I started it before I went to drop off the vest for my niece, and I finished it while I was there, and of course she took it. So but yeah, there's that one. It has some of the gray flecky yarn, tweedy yarn, as the, looks a little lopsided with the eye though, huh? Oh well, gives a character. But yeah, all the scraps. Perfect project. Another perfect project, just like that little stingray, the round stingray, which is perfect for small scraps. This is good for balls of Bernat yarn. This one, that is that Amazon yarn, Temu type yarn. I had scraps of a couple of colors, so I started off with what I had in the blue, and then I picked up this one that has more pink, and then I finished it with the grays, and I ran out of that, so I finished it with some Feels Like Bliss up here. I love that yarn, but I hate that yarn as well. But yeah, it gives great texture and a little fuzziness to the top of it. So, and then this was, I I don't think this was a Bernat yarn. This was probably a Michael's yarn. I'm not sure. But I ran out because you could see the difference here. And then I had to double up the Dollar Tree marled medley yarn. The Just Chenille medley to add here. Because I ran out. So a complete. This one is so a scrap project. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different yarns in here. Actually 7 with the fangs is just a little bit of posh in white. That, all the spiders and diddy decks. Ooh, and one just jumped away. Alright, so the last of them, and I'm probably going to shake the table, putting them on. Before I made that diddy decks. So before I made this one, oh, so freaking cute. I made a big chicken because I am not making a whole lot of chickens anymore because they're kind of had their time in the limelight, so to speak. But I did have some in my inventory. I think I had like 6 smaller ones in my inventory, and they weren't getting much attention when I put it out there. So I made one big chicken to put among them to draw attention. That sold, and the woman who bought it was like really happy with that purchase. So I decided I need to have another giant chicken. Maybe it's the same person, but anyway. So I decided to use, I had these 2 balls of the tweed yarn there for a while, and I'd used a little bit of one of them like I'd mentioned before, but I decided to make the big chicken. Now, it's definitely based off of, you know, the Mabel chicken, but it's basically my own based on that. Because that one doesn't have wings, and the wings a little off center, and I like adding heads to the chickens. So, added a tail, but yeah, and wings. So, ginormous. So, I had a little bit left, and you saw that I used some in the, what was left in the spider, but before that I had a little bit left, so I made a little, so you can see the difference. Look at that. Jumbo. And that would be like the regular size, pretty much. So yeah, there's that one. Mama and baby. And then after I made the gray and the diddy decks, I'm like, oh, I looked over, I still had the brown one, so I decided I'll just make another one. This one isn't as big. I think I used different size hooks with them, but I still made, let's see if you could see the size difference. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this one's definitely bigger than that one. And this one I just made like in the round, and this one I had written down, first time I made the one that sold, I had written down what I did, and I started with a chain instead of just in the round, so it is a little different. But yeah, and instead of just using the yarn to just embroider on the mouth, I actually picked up stitches and crocheted, so it has more of a beak. But yeah, and then this one, for the other one, I used some coordinating, I think it's the baby sand color, and that one I didn't have any, but I did have this, it's not gold, it's not pumpkin, mustard, not quite, it's like a nice fall rusty orange color that I don't remember what the colorway was, and I need to find it because I like it. But so there's that, and then what I had left over, I made that as well. So I have one each. I'm not sure if I will bring them at the same time to the craft fairs or just have one and see if it sells and then bring it to the another one to the other craft fair. So this is what I had left of the chickens and the diddy decks, and this was the one I showed that I used every last bit of the scraps to make these. So that is what I've been up to. I'm just happy this is off the hook. It's done. It's gonna come on vacation with me, which is supposed to happen, but we're back in the hospital with my dad, so who knows what's gonna happen. Yeah, we'll see. Just when I was gonna get back into the swing of it again, yeah, life. Alright, so that's what I've been up to, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh, I should have said that in the beginning, but hi if you're new here. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, I hope you enjoy this episode. And to you OGs, thanks again for sticking around, and I will talk to you guys in a bit.